Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Minnick, and I am joined with one of my favorite classes. Today what we're looking at is Chapter 3, Section 6. I can't remember the exact title. I think it has something to do with solving systems. Solve systems with matrices. Yesterday I talked about the English language not making sense, and that word is matrices, but it's actually matrices. I don't know how the English language, why it's supposed to be pronounced that way. Everybody says math doesn't make sense. If you were here yesterday, I kept on saying, I don't think English makes sense. So this is Chapter 3, Section 6. We're going to solve systems with matrices. On Monday we talked about what a matrice... No, there's no such thing as a matrice. There's a matrix. We talked about what a matrix is. How do you know that the A is long? That it's a long A that you're supposed to say matrix? How do you know? Okay. So here we go. Here's example 1. Our first system that we're going to try to solve is going to look like this. 4x minus y is 10. 4x minus y is 10. And then our second equation is negative 7x minus 2y. Negative 7x minus 2y is or equals negative 25. So that's a system. Who remembers how our final answer ought to be written? Anybody? Order pair, nice. Good looking out. Good. So our final answer should be an ordered pair. And in that ordered pair, there's going to be an x and a y, right? Everybody with me so far? So check this out. I'm just going to cut straight to the chase. Step 1, make an augmented matrix. Make an augmented matrix from equations. What do you mean from the equations? Well, we're going to use the equations, and in this matrix, I said a matrix is a rectangular array of things. And we are just going to use numbers in this matrix. In fact, what numbers we're going to use, we're just going to use the coefficients. My writing's a little sloppy, so I'm going to go back and recognize all this. But when we do this, all we're going to do is we're just going to use coefficients. It's supposed to say number 1. Number 1. Make an augmented matrix. What? It didn't like me today. Make an augmented matrix from the equations. When we do that, we're just using coefficients. There we go. What kind of dimensions should I have for this matrix? We got 2 equations, so how many rows do you suppose we're going to have? 2 rows. And then we've got a coefficient on x and a coefficient on y, and then we got something on the other side of the equal sign. So how many columns do you think we should have? Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a 2 by 3 matrix out of this, okay? So here comes step 1. Bracket. The fact that this is an augmented matrix, sometimes in the book, sometimes in the print, you're going to see a weird dotted line like this. I don't care if you write that or not. That just means that it's an augmented matrix, and there's other ways to do this, but we're doing this the fastest way possible. So we're just going to go with the coefficients. We're going to go with a 4 here, a negative 7 here, a negative 2 here, a negative 25 here, and a 10 here. What should I put where that negative y is? What should I put there? A negative 1. A negative 1. Okay? Everybody all right so far? So that's our first step. What I want you to realize, and what you have to be able to understand and fathom and comprehend and get, is that this equation and this matrix row say the exact same thing. ¿Dónde está el baño? Where is the bathroom? Those are the exact same sentences, right? Just in different form. One of them's in Spanish, one of them's in English. 4x minus y equals 10, 4 negative 1, 10. Those are the same phrase, just in different languages. Does that make sense? Je m'appelle Robert. My name is Robert. My name is not Robert, but that's the only thing I know how to say in French, okay? So, je m'appelle Robert. My name is Robert. Same thing with this second row here in this second the second equation in the second row. Does everybody get that? How to interpret that kind of? Does that make a little bit of sense? That's going to be real important then when we do this French math. My one class, I said, step 2, we're going to use French math, French matrix math. Step 2, use French matrix math. What do you mean French matrix math? That doesn't even make any sense. Well, what it's called is French somehow, I think. I don't know. Je m'appelle Robert? No. Il est 8 heures? No. Anybody know why in France they never eat omelets? I love a good omelet with like 6 eggs in it. But in France, they don't eat omelets. You know why? Because 1 egg is enough. Okay. It's called reduced row echelon form. The word echelon, I've been told. I don't know for sure. Somebody check it. Somebody get back to me on the history. Reduced row echelon form. That's what this is called. Okay, and really all it says is this. There's going to be a 1 here and a 0 here and a 0 here and a 1 here, and then here's this augmentation of this matrix. And this is so. Can I use a 2-letter acronym that everybody will get? This is so BA. This is awesome how this works. Who can tell me what this top row here says? What's that say? Now, I happen to know what the solution is to this. There's actually going to be a 3 here, and I'll show you how to do this here in a second. And then there's going to be a 2 here. But who can interpret that top row for me? What's that top row say? Anyone? Yes. Yes, 1x equals 3. Awesome. It says 1x equals 3. So when we go to write up our answer for our ordered pair, we know that x is 3. Similarly then, what's the second row say? 1y is 2. Does that make sense? I hope it really does. So then our answer is 3, 2, and that's it. So how do we do that matrix math, that French matrix math? Well, I'm going to show you several different ways. This will be up on my YouTube channel for you to go back and look at. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a TI-83 Plus. I'm also going to bring up a TI-Nspire, and I'm also going to go to a website that can do this. Many of you are going to prefer the website option because it's very intuitive. You know what that word intuitive means? Smart. It does what it's supposed to do without even you telling it to do it. It's pretty neat. Doesn't that look like Bambi a little bit? Like a deer? So, on this calculator, if you notice, it's kind of hard for me to draw attention to it, but over here on the left side, there's a button that says Matrix. It's the inversion button. It's on the left side, about halfway down, about a third of the way down. It says Matrix, but I have to press second to access it. So I'm going to press second and then that button. And I don't want to name a matrix because they're already named. I don't want matrix math yet because I'm not ready for that. I need to enter the matrix. So what should I do? See at the top how there's 3 different command types? I need to go to the command type that says let me edit. So I'm going to edit matrix A, and I'm going to make it a 2 by 3 matrix. And here we go. 4, -1. and then 10, and then -7. It's real important if you're using the TI-83 that you use the negative sign instead of the minus when you want a negative. Okay? If you use a minus, it's not going to like you. Everybody all right with that? Okay. So let me take a picture of this, and I'll capture this on... we'll just put this on the next page here. So I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of this. Got my matrix. One thing I really like to talk about is how to get places on the TI-83. It reminds me of The Wizard of Oz. Anybody ever see that movie? What's Dorothy say when she clicks her heels together? There's no place like home. There's no place like home. On this calculator, I need to quit from this editing screen. So I'm going to press second and mode. They're up top. They're side by side. I'm pressing second and then mode. That'll get me back to the home screen. Okay. Now what I want is matrix math. And I've got to be honest with you. Matrix math, you're going to look at some of these names and you're going to say, what the heck is that? The DDT, that's a wrestling move. But that doesn't say DDT, it's DET. That's determinant. I doubt we'll talk about that this year. If you ever take a matrix class, well, then you'll talk about it. The little t stands for transpose. The dim stands for the look on some of your faces. Now, oh, I shouldn't have said that. That was wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. The dim stands for the dimensions. Fill, well, fill in a matrix with whatever you tell it to. Identity was a movie that John Cusack was in. Rand M will make a random matrix. Augment will augment two matrices. Matrix to a list will change a matrix to a list. List to a matrix will change a list to a matrix. I don't know about that one. This one is almost the French math, but it's not the right one. This says RR, or this says REF. I don't want one REF, I want two R's EF, so check it out. Reduced row echelon form, that's what I want. So I need to go ahead and paste that, okay? So I'm going to take a picture of that, and I'm going to paste that. So to paste on this calculator, you just press enter, and that pastes that out to the home screen. Now I want to actually access the matrix whose name is A. So let me take a picture of this too. Okay, so if you type in bracket A bracket, the calculator's not going to do anything. It's going to say you didn't do it right. You actually have to access the matrix named A like that. Okay, everybody all right so far? I know you probably don't have a calculator in hand and you're just going to say, I can't do this. Well, when you get a calculator in your hand, I'll be glad to go over this with you. So we just press enter then, and check it out. 3, 2, that's what we get. That's the way. I like it. So that's what we got. Any questions, comments, concerns, short debates, long debates about that? So again, the button that we have to use on this calculator is this matrix button. And I'll take a picture of that. It's that button that can go ahead and get out of this calculator now. Maybe I'll draw an arrow to it or something. If I could find my arrows. I have no idea where any of that stuff is today. Right there, the matrix button. Okay? Any questions? So I should have been opening up my TI-Nspire because it takes about a minute to load. Maybe it is opening. Yeah, I think it already is opening. So on the TI-Nspire, the cool thing about it, when you go to do statistical stuff with it, it's so cool. But the other cool thing about it is you can do some stuff a little bit easier than on the TI-83 or TI-84, just because it's pretty intuitive. You'll see what I mean here in a second. Maybe. So what was that abbreviation for the French math matrix? What was that abbreviation, the 4-letter acronym for it? Anyone? What was that 4-letter acronym that the TI-83 used? Thank you. It's RREF. It's RREF. So check this out. I'm just going to type. I could go into my menu. I could go into matrix. I could go into reduced row echelon form, but I don't need to. I could just type RREF. Now, I need to tell it, I need to RREF a matrix, which is in the following group, so I do need to put some parentheses here. Okay? And then this button next to 9, right here is called your math palette button. We're going to use that. That's going to be our math palette button. So I'll use that. And I want to use this, it looks like a 3x3 matrix. Okay, that looks like nothing. That doesn't look like anything. Maybe I got to let it snap that picture first. There we go. Snap that picture first. Good. So I use that. And then I need to change the dimensions to 2x3. And then I need to put in my stuff. Does anybody have that matrix handy? What was it? That wasn't 1, 0. Come on now. Thank you. 4, -1. Whoop. What the heck is going on? RREF. Parenthesis. Matrix. 2x3. So it's 4, -1, 2, 10. Okay, thank you. And then -7, -2, and -25. Thank you. Good looking out. So there we go. That's all we need. And again, we just press enter, and it's that fast. It's pretty sweet. So we press enter, and it's that fast. What do we think? Is that cool or what? So I know what you're asking yourself. You're asking yourself, but Mr. Minnick, I don't have a calculator. Is there another way? You said bring our Chromebooks if we don't have that. So go to this website, Mathway. Last year I wanted to take the makers of this website for a little walk in the woods. One of those kind of walks in the woods. Not the kind where you hold their hand either. I'm not going to comment on what I do, but I wasn't too happy about this. But check this out. You're going to like this because you don't have a $150 graphing calculator yet. Do you see the matrix thing in the palette? Do you have that? Check it out. Let's click that matrix thing in the palette. Oh my goodness! They already have a 2x3 template waiting for us. That's cool. Click that. What was it? It was 4, -1, 2. You can tab to cycle between the cells. And then it was -what? 7? It's 10 at the top. Thank you. Good looking out. Why did I put the wrong thing? So that's a 10. And then it was what? -7? And then -2. And then -25. Now watch this. I told you it's intuitive, right? I didn't even tell it what to do with this, and it automatically says find reduced row echelon form. Heck yeah. So go ahead and click answer. And down below you'll see your reduced row echelon form matrix, and then you'll just have to interpret that 3, 2 is the answer. Isn't that so awesome? Isn't that cool? Well, that's it. It's been real. It's been fun. I'm going to pass out a worksheet to my classes that are here. If you need to refer back to this, it will be on the line. Have a great day.